This video is brought to you by REP Gaming Products. Help protect your deck and support the show by picking up a steel deck box from the link down below.
Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Much Abrew About Nothing. So last week, during our Instant Deck Decks, it was our modern option, Fiend Win Eldrazi, that came out on top. So this week, we are heading to Modern to play a slightly different take on Eldrazi. Rather than just like reality smashing and end-bringing and tronning, we're looking to play some Elder Deep-Fiends again and again and again and again, hopefully kind of tempo our opponent out of the game by tapping down their lands. So like usual, gonna do a super quick 2-minute refresher deck tech on Fiend Win Eldrazi. If you want the full breakdown, make sure to watch the instant deck tech. I'll try to link it down below. And then we will jump into the gameplay, talk about our results in the wrap-up. Anyway, a quick reminder before we break down Fiend Win Eldrazi for Modern. If you enjoy this deck, and you enjoy Much Abrew in general, it would be amazing of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk Fiend Win Eldrazi. So we start off with our early gameplays, because remember, we are trying to emerge out Elder Deep-Fiend, also Distended Mindbender. So to do that efficiently, we need a bunch of good 3-drops. 3-drops let us untap, sack the 3-drop to our Elder Deep-Fiend, our Distended Mindbender, play our huge Eldrazi right away. So Matter Reshaper gives us some value when it dies. Vendilion Click gives us some value right away when it enters the battlefield. We also have Wasteland Strangler, which works with some of our exiling effects. Eternal Scourge as well. Kind of combo with Relic of Progenitus. If Scourge dies, we can exile it, recast it. Wasteland Strangler, we get cards in our opponent's exile zone to kill our opponent's creatures. Then we have Thought-Knot Seer, which is just too good to pass up. In a modern format where we have lots of combo-y decks, being able to grab a key combo piece on turn 3, maybe even on turn 2, if we get the lucky double Eldrazi Temple draw, really, really powerful. Then our big top-end stuff is Elder Deep-Fiend and Distended Mindbender. So Distended Mindbender, kind of the backup, makes our opponent discard a card, maybe 2 cards if they have high expensive stuff and cheap stuff. Deep-Fiend, though, is the big payoff. Comes down on our opponent's upkeep, hopefully taps them out of lands. We can also use it to tap creatures to get in a big attack. And then the idea is we can keep repeatedly using our Elder Deep-Fiend thanks to Release to the Winds. So Release to the Winds basically gives us a 3-mana Elder Deep-Fiend. We just cast Release to the Winds on Elder Deep-Fiend. Then we can cast Elder Deep-Fiend for free as long as it's exiled. So we just wait till our opponent's next upkeep, we cast it again, tap our opponent out again, which kind of gives us like this time walk effect where our opponent's unable to really do much of anything. And then, as I said, eventually we turn the tapping to our opponent's creatures, tap them down, Alpha with a huge attack from our Eldrazi. As far as interaction, Collective Brutality gives us a catch-all, Dismember for removal, Damnation, All Is Dust give us sweepers, Talisman of Dominance, just a bit of ramp to get to our stuff a little bit faster. In the mana base, Creeping Target for a creature land, Sanctum of Ugin, another way to chain together Deep-Fiends, Field of Ruin, and Ghost Quarter for Tron. Eldrazi Temple, you know, my favorite card. It's actually probably better when we're playing it rather than playing against it. But a way to cast our 3-mana Eldrazi on turn 2. If we have 2 copies, even a Thought-Knot on turn 2, just speeds up our deck a lot. Cavern for counterspell decks. A bunch of dual lands, some of them that make colorless mana to support all of our random colorless things. Thought-Knot, Matter Reshaper. Some basic lands, including Waste. In the sideboard, we get some Lilianas to grind out value, some more removal and bounce, some sweepers, and some discard. Relic for graveyards. Pithy Needle is a catch-all. And that is Fiend Win Eldrazi for Modern, and that is our Much Abrew deck for this week. So let's get to the gameplay so we can see how this crazy deck actually works. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back in a bit with the wrap-up. Alright, Much Abrew About Nothing time. We are playing some Fiend Win Eldrazi in Modern. Turning over to the dark side of Eldrazi temples. But with some spice, we're not just playing only Thought-Knot Seers on turn 2. Although hopefully we do occasionally. See, if our opponent was playing this deck, this would be an Eldrazi temple. This would also be an Eldrazi temple. This end's fine though, we'll keep it. It's a fair Thought-Knot Seer. We would like some early game stuff, although Collective Brutality, it's almost never bad. I guess there's a few matchups where it's bad, but for the most part, in creature matchups, you kill something. In control matchups, you dress something. So, not usually bad. 4 is for our opponent. And passes. Well, Swamp, go. Basic Forest. Nice Basic Forest. Could be Panza, Collected Company.
Oh, it's Tron. Tron with the most awkward draw. Opponent passes. Well, play Underground River. I guess we're going to duress. Maybe we just discard. I guess we duress and drain. Because this All is Dust is a dead card. So we might as well. Alright, get rid of Sylvan's Crying. Pass the turn. Man, Eldrazi Temple this turn to get rid of Oblivion Stone would be sweet. Ooh, Ancient Stirrings. Wow, whiffs on Tron lands, gets a Ghost Quarter. Plays the Ghost Quarter. Man, come on, Eldrazi Temple. One time, just like we see other people do. Tar Pit. Alright, Tar Pit go. We're doing it the fairest way possible. This does mean Oblivion Stone's gonna come down, and that's not ideal. Mine. There's Oblivion Stone. Opponent passes. So we get to get rid of the Karn. Play Sanctum of Ugin. Play Thought Knot. Take the Karn. Ooh, actually, I guess we take the Worm Coil. Pass the turn. Maybe we can force our opponent to crack Oblivion Stone early. Opponent cracks, add green. Another is mine. Only Karn in hand. Opponent passes. Well, there's Eldrazi Temple. Get in with Thought Knot Seer. Hit our opponent. Oh, this is so awkward. Ugh. I'm tempted to just Mindbender. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, let's pass. This Oblivion Stone is making things tricky. Opponent. Passing. Well, play Cavern on Eldrazi. Get in with Thought Knot Seer. Opponent takes it. Alright. Let's Mindbender. Oops. Yeah, let's Mindbender. Tapping properly. I don't even want to do that, though. Alright, new plan. Let's just Thought Knot Seer. Take Oblivion Stone. Pass the turn. So there's Oblivion Stone. We will release to the Winds of Thought Knot. So opponent draws 2 cards, but we have a free Thought Knot for next turn. And they can't Karn yet. So opponent draws. And now ideally we'll just empty our opponent's hand. They draw a Worm Coil. That is an issue that we don't have a good answer for. Well, cast Thought Knot, take the Karn, play Eldrazi Temple, Thought Knot, take Expedition Map, Tar Pit, go attacking, hit our opponent to 7, opponent gets it, yep, down to 15, passes. Alright, so go attacking, just Thought Knots. I think this should do it. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. So play Ghost Quarter, cast Mindbender, target our opponent, Sanctum, because now we can just tutor up Deep-Fiend. So grab Elder Deep-Fiend. Wow, they drew another Karn too. Take the Karn. Opponent's out of cards. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Emerge a Deep-Fiend. Tap, 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 tap. And opponent scoops it up. Elder Deep-Fiend showing its power coming through. Although, man, this matchup feels sketchy. It feels about as sketchy can be. All Is Dust is bad. Wasteland Strangler is bad. Liliana the Veil is probably good. Relic of Progenitus doesn't really do anything. Inquisition is fine. Dismember doesn't do anything. Oh dear. We have a lot of doesn't do anythings. Huh. I guess a Warping Whale, maybe? That's not very good. Maybe Damnation. Also not very good. None of these cards feel very good. Yeah, let's Damnation. Try it like that. I think we mostly got to just try to tap our opponent out of the game. I think that's the plan. Well, alright. We got our Field of Ruin, which is good. That's one of the cards we want to see. Power Plant. And Chromatic Star. Opponent passing. Well, Eldrazi Temple, go. If our opponent has exactly turn 3 Tron, they do manage to beat our Field of Ruin. Turn 3 Tron plus Karn is the nightmare. Opponent. Whew. Alright. We dodged the turn 3 bullet, which means Field of Ruin will be active. We could just draw another Temple. That would be insane. And Thought Knot Seer. Opponent gets a Urza's Mine. Oh, we're living the dream. Oh my goodness. We feel the power. Oh, just like our opponents do. Crucible of Worlds, Thragtusk, Thought Knot Seer. Well, let's take Crucible, so we can maybe keep our opponent off Tron. Opponent, mine, and passes. Well, get in with Thought Knot Seer. Hit our opponent. Do we just want to start Chaining Deep-Fiends? It's so much better next turn. Opponent's going to play a Thought Knot. Well, let's just Field of Ruin. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Blow up the mine. Take a swamp. Our opponent can still play Thought Knot here. There's a forest. And there is Thought Knot Seer. Yup. Our colored mana is not lining up very well for Emerge. Takes Wasteland Strangler. Interesting. And passes. Well, get in with Thought Knot. Opponent trades. We both draw. Play Thought Knot number 2. Take Oblivion Stone. Play Underground River. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. If they draw land, they can Thrag Tusk. Ancient Stirrings. Finds a Thought Knot. Chromatic Sphere. Cracks it. Chromatic Sphere. Cracks it. Expedition Map. Alright. Opponent passes. Holy Temples. Well, get in with Thought Knot. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. And, yeah. 3 Eldrazi Temples kind of feels like cheating. Hard cast an Elder Deep-Fiend. Tap, 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 tap. And I think this wins us the game. Yep. Opponent cracks, gets a land. Opponent plays the mine. Chromatic Star. And passes Liliana. Oh, we don't quite win, do we? Well, go attacking. Hit our opponent. Play. So we don't have the mana to do everything. We Sanctum. We end up a blue mana short if we Mindbender. We play the island. We end up a mana short. So let's just hardcast Mindbender. Actually, 6, 7, 8. Play Sanctum of Ugin. Hardcast Mindbender. Target our opponent. Sack Sanctum. Grab a Deep-Fiend. Oh, what do we take? So, oh man. Alright, so if we leave Ulamog and they draw exactly Tronland and they get 2 spins at it. 1, 2, yeah. Then they win. If we leave Thragtusk and they cast it, we Elder Deep-Fiend tap and win. Yeah. Take Ulamog. Pass the turn. We win through a Thragtusk. We don't win through an Ulamog. Like, if our opponent plays Thragtusk, we just Deep-Fiend, tap it down, attack, and we have more than lethal. Alright, wow. Alright, so Tron is achieved. Gets a tower. I don't think this gets our opponent out of it, though. I guess I could draw a Sweeper? Oblivion Stone, I guess, does it. Otherwise, I think our tempo plan is enough to get the job done. Tron, Thragtusk, and we should be fine. Opponent. Passing. Yep. Goes to 8. Well, we just hardcast Elder Deep-Fiend. Tap, tap. Tap, tap, whatever. Tap things down. And we got the GGs. Deep-Fiend Eldrazi coming through. Or Deep Wins Eldrazi. Sweet. Fiend wins. Whatever it was. Whatever we're calling this deck. Taking down our nemesis Tron. Whew, sweet. Alright. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Fiend Win Eldrazi in Modern. And we'll play first. And, yeah, I mean, alright. Not an insane hand, but turn 3 Matter Reshaper, turn 4 Distended Mindbender. With a smidge of removal. Could work. No Eldrazi Temples, but I guess that's fair. So, Swamp, you. Eldrazi Temple would probably be our best draw. Opponent. Bloodstained Mire. Jund, Hollow One, etc. Swamp for our opponent. And alright, Thoughtseize. I expect that that's going to be our Matter Reshaper disappearing. Yep, Matter Reshaper down. Opponent. I mean, that does slow us down a lot. Because without Matter Reshaper, Descendant Mindbender, oh man, we even drew Eldrazi Temple. Play Underground River, go. Don't really want our opponent to know that we just top-decked another land. Yeah, Mindbender's super expensive without a merge. Pass the turn. Opponent. Treetop Village. Alright, so definitely Jund. We would like basically any Eldrazi we can cast. Underground River. Well, Eldrazi Temple go. Yeah, we're doing it the slow-ish way. We're up to 4 mana for Eldrazi, though. Pass the turn. Opponent. Hopefully not Liliana. Liliana's relatively annoying here. It's a Liliana, which is relatively annoying here. Takes up. Well, let's discard Waste. Yeah, we're pretty far behind now. Our opening hand looked fine, and then Thoughtseize ruined it, and now we've just drawn all land. Oh my god almighty. I do appreciate that we have, I think, completely mismatching Underground Rivers somehow. 10th, 9th, 7th. Hopefully we have, like, Ice Age. I don't think Ice Age exists on Moto, though. Maybe it does. From Masters Edition. I don't think so. Opponent. Takes up. We will discard a... Yeah, I guess Underground River. Man, I think our opponent's just going to ultimate this Liliana and we're going to lose. I feel like that is the direction this is going. Oh my god, more Lilianas. This is like Liliana Tribal. Opponent passes. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. I don't even know what we want. Matter Reshaper, maybe? Play Ghost Quarter. I mean, I guess we Thought Not Seer. Although, it's just going to die to Liliana. Thought Not. Take, I guess, Kolaghan's Command? If our opponent draws a fetch, it's kind of a blowout. Kolaghan's Command, though, empties our hand, potentially, and does offer more. Opponent doesn't have red mana. All right, let's take Fatal Push. I think what we need mostly is our opponent to have to tick down Liliana of the Veil so it doesn't ultimate next turn. That's our main concern here. Like, losing Thought Not to Liliana is bad, but, all right, they do find red mana. Takes down, yep, gets a free card. So we know our opponent has Kolaghan's Command. Yeah, we are super in trouble. Our deck doesn't really have a good catch-up mechanism for these Planeswalkers. I guess we're hoping for, I don't even know, probably still Matter Reshapers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're a long way away from Mind Bending. Looks like opponent's going to Kolaghan's Command, but they're mistapping. I'm not sure what this really does. I guess it's going to make us lose our Mind Bender. Yeah, I feel like we're kind of really in trouble. Opponent figures it out. Kolaghan's Command. We will discard Dismember. Play the land, pass the turn. Now Liliana gets rid of our Mindbender, and we die. We die to Liliana's. Not really any way to catch back up. Opponent. Oh god, Tireless Tracker. And a land, oh dear. Okay. I wonder if this is a bad matchup, or if this is just a bad draw for us to keep up with. I guess in defense of our deck, we haven't really drawn much of anything. Opponent takes up Liliana and passes. We're pretty much to the scoop point of the game. Yeah, we are going to concede. We just don't have any way of beating Liliana ultimates. Alright, scoop it up. Yikes! Yikes, yikes, yikes. That was brutal. So opponent's playing Jund. All is Dust seems fine. Collective Brutality seems not very good. I think we leave Relics. Normally these decks have a lot of graveyard synergies. Otherwise, Pithing Needle? Do we want to try to Pithing Needle Liliana's? Opponent has so many Pithing Needle answers, though, it's probably not even worth it. Let's just run it like that. Hope that we just have a bit more aggressive of a draw. Alright, we get to play first. And, alright, this is kind of what we want our hands to look like. I mean, we're missing some high-end stuff, but we have Eldrazi Temple. We have early game plays. Thoughtseize doesn't absolutely ruin us. Tap land for our opponent. And passes. Well, Underground River. Run out Eternal Scourge. Eldrazi, number 1. Pass the turn. Opponent. Verdant Catacombs. Cracks it. Swamp. And Fatal Pushes. Sure. That's fine. Goes to exile, but we can just recast if we want to. We can actually play our Talisman and recast. Ooh. Well, that's probably even better. Play Sunken Ruins. Play Talisman. Play Matter Reshaper. Pass the turn. Now we're just looking for some big stuff mostly. Deep-Fiends. Even Mindbender would be fine. Bloodstained Mire. Opponent cracks it. And Blood Moon. Alright. I was not really expecting Blood Moon. Well, play Waste. Get in with Matter Reshaper. Play Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. Forest for our opponent. And Bloodbraid Elf. Into not Kolaghan's Command. Inquisition. Alright, Inquisition is obnoxious, but not really deadly. I assume they take Dismember, maybe? Nothing's in exile for Wasteland Strangler. Bone it. Maybe you take Release from the Winds just because it's so different? And if you're playing Release from the Winds, you're probably doing something scary. Alright, takes Wasteland Strangler. Playing it safe. Bone it. No attacks. Well, let's untap. Unfortunately, we don't have the black mana for this. Yeah, I'll go attacking. Opponent takes it? Interesting. Down to 9. Well, pass the turn. Yeah, Blood Moon's actually surprisingly annoying. Alright, opponent plays a Liliana. Takes up on Eternal Scourge. Sure. No attacks. Well, now I guess we gotta Dismember. Overtap. Untap. It's a mountain. Well, get in with Matter Reshaper at our opponent. Replay Eternal Scourge. Play Eldrazi Temple, pass the turn. So if our opponent just ticks down for Bloodbraid Elf, we might be able to win with Release to the Wind. Kolaghan's Command. Well, I think we actually have to Release to the Wind our blue source. Kinda awkward, but I think necessary. Matter Reshaper, give us something good. Well, land on the battlefield. Takes up on Eternal Scourge. I mean, I guess if we draw a land, we get to just hardcast Mindbender. Mountain for our opponent. Ooh, a risky Dark Confidant. Well, now we don't have that many bad draws. Except for Relic. Play Relic. Crack Relic. Play Talisman. Yeah, let's just pass. If we play Eternal Scourge, our opponent just ticks up on it. Oh, we might be back to the losing to Liliana part of the game. Come on, Bob. Give us something expensive. Inquisition. Meh. Cast Inquisition. Well, I mean, I guess we Release to the Wind's Dark Confidant. Our opponent can recast it, but it technically saves 2 damage for 1 damage. Still just Mindbender in hand. Yeah, we have got pretty good by Blood Moon here. Blood Moon and Planeswalkers. I don't think Blood Moon is supposed to be played in Judd. Yep. Oh god. And Thoughtseize. Down to 3. And Tireless Tracker. Takes up. Alright, we are running out of time. Opponent passes. Not recasting the Dark Confidant. Alright, Eternal Scourge. Play an island. So the only way I can think of winning this game is top decking Elder Deep-Fiend this next turn. And that's not even a guarantee, but that's our best chance. Takes up on Eternal Scourge. Maybe we shouldn't have released to the Winds the Bob. Our opponent's not recasting it. Maybe we need to leave it out there. More Tireless Trackers. Alright, well, this is it. We gotta top deck Deep-Fiend this turn. If we do, our odds of winning are pretty high. If we don't, that's a Deep-Fiend. Okay, pass the turn. Well, I mean, this is our best shot. In theory, we tap everything and win the game. Emblems Liliana. If our opponent has a hard removal spell, this is less likely to work. Or actually very unlikely to work. Well, let's see. Gets in. Yup. Down to 9. 2 cards in hand. Okay. Well, this is our chance. Opponent makes a zombie. 2 zombies. Deep-Fiend. Tap, 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 tap. And see if our opponent has a hard removal spell. Unfortunately, we can't tap all the black mana. You got it? Come on. No terminates. Opponent passes. Well, I mean, go attacking. Do you have it? Are we getting slow rolled? Deep-Fiend? Oh my goodness! The Deep-Fiend off the top was enough. I thought for sure our opponent could kill it. I was not very hopeful at all of that working. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, it worked. It worked. The Deep-Fiend off the top was enough to get the job done. Sweet. Super sweet. And surprising. Very surprising. I think we have to go down Vendilion Click. It dies to Liliana the Last Hope, and it seems like our opponent is not just playing like one of them. It seems like they're playing a lot of them. Engineered Explosives deals with Liliana Ultimate, but I think our goal is to not let our opponent get to Liliana Ultimate. We could bring in the Inquisitions. A little worried about just like Dark Confidant running us over, but alright, run it like that. I think that's as good as it gets. Wow. Well, that was a pretty fortunate win. Alright, we are on to game number 3. Ooh. Alright. I mean, no colored mana, but we got an Eldrazi Temple. We'll keep it. Seems fine. Trust that we draw colored mana eventually. I guess we can just cycle this relic. So far we've seen... Oh man, opponent's going to 4. Well, I expect this works in our favor. We have Eldrazi Temple, opponent has 4 cards. Fiend win Eldrazi. We'll take any amount of luck we can get. Opponent, we certainly got lucky. Ooh, colored mana. We certainly got lucky last game. There is 0 doubts about luck involved there. Because literally the only card that could win us that game was Elder Deep-Fiend. And it had to be literally that exact turn. And also our opponent did not have a Terminate. We got the trifecta Tron luck, basically. We needed 3 things to go right, and they all went right. Opponent cracks. Blood Grip. Dark Confidant is a good way to dig out from a mulligan. And that's a Dark Confidant. And we can't actually deal with it yet. Alright, well, exile the land, might as well. Dismember would be fine. Would not mind. Opponent passes. Well, play Waste. Play Matter Reshaper. I guess the other thing to do is just try to attack to make this Bob a negative. Opponent, Dark Confidant. Gives them. Alright, Raging Ravine. There's the tap land. Ancient Grudge. Alright. Well, there goes Relic. Didn't even get to draw a card with it. Opponent passes. Well, get him a Matter Reshaper. Opponent takes it. Play Underground River, and yeah, let's just do the Eldrazi thing. Cast A, turn 3, Thought Nazir. Liliana and Bloodbraid. I think Bloodbraid's actually more annoying here, so let's take Bloodbraid. Liliana, our opponent needs black mana. Alright, Inquisition. And we can just sack Matter Reshaper. Alright, there's a black mana. So our opponent can play Liliana, but then we just sack Matter Reshaper and kill it. There's Liliana. Takes down. Well, sack Matter Reshaper. We get more Release to the Wind. Alright, opponent. Passing. Well, attack Liliana. Opponent takes it, keeping the Bob around. Matter Reshaper number 2. Play the Waste. Pass the turn. Dark Confidant. Reveals more Dark Confidants. I'm assuming our opponent eventually is going to want cards that don't kill them. Opponent. Inquisition. Well, there goes one of our Release to the Winds. Yup. And opponent passing. Well, go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent blocks. Yup. Drops to 7. Eternal Scourge to the battlefield. That works out. Now we get to play Urborg and emerge out Mindbender. Mindbender. Do we get 1 or 2? Alright, take Dark Confidant. That can actually block. Abrupt Decay just does nothing here. Pass the turn, and, well, our opponent did a lot of mulliganing, but I think we're getting another Fiend win Eldrazi win. Bloodstained Mire. So all our opponent has is Abrupt Decay. They can chump block for a turn with a land. Actually, 2 turns. 1 turn. Opponent passes. Jeez. All the Mindbenders. Well, go attacking. Hit our opponent. Release to the Wind does not target land. Oh, opponent's just going to die? I mean, the chump block with a land plan, unlikely to work. And we got the GG's. Fiend win Eldrazi. Taking it down with the timely top deck in game 2. Sweet. Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Fiend win Eldrazi. And we'll try this. Looks like our opponent's Death Shadowing. Our mana base, a little bit clunky as far as emerging. Bobble, bobble. Yup. Street Wraith. Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, opponent's drawn a bunch of new cards, that's for sure. Polluted Delta. Well, our opponent did a whole lot of nothing, but they played 4 cards. Oh my god, a Release to the Wind. Well, this will be sweet if we ever get to the point where we are casting Elder Deep-Fiends. I don't know if we will get to that point. without blue mana. Opponent cracks. Watery Grave. Untapped. Down to 15. Thought Seizes. Takes Wasteland Strangler. Well, Deep-Fiend looking even further away. Untap land, and there's Death Shadow. Oh boy. Oh, Death Shadow. All is dust, eh? Well, play a swamp, pass the turn. Now I'm starting to lean on the we might die without casting a spell side of things. Polluted Delta. Opponent. Getting frisky. Yup. Cracks Polluted Delta. Watery Grave. Untap down to 8. We're down to 15. Snapcaster. 4 Thoughtseize. Not sure why they didn't do that beforehand. Thoughtseize. And now I'm not sure what we can draw. Swamp. Alright. Field of Ruin. I mean, our opponent knows our hand, basically. Let's just blow up Blood Crypt. Take an island. I guess we can start casting Release to the Winds to try to fog Death Shadow attacks. I don't know if that's... Oh my god. More Thoughtseize. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well... We're not going to cast a card this game. It's not happening. There goes our Deep-Fiend. Opponent. Gurmag Angler. Well, this has been exactly what Death Shadow wants to do. Down to 4. We draw nothing, and, well, you can see the downside of Release to the Winds. We've done some really cool things, or can do some really cool things with Release to the Winds, but there is a downside, and that downside is, good God, is it bad in those scenarios? So bring in the relics, bring in Liliana, big Liliana. Go down Collective Brutality. Go down Vendilion Click. Go down maybe like a Release to the Winds and a Mindbender for Engineered Explosives and I guess Damnation. All Is Dust is sweet, but it's also pretty slow. And it's not like we're an Eldrazi deck that has ways to find Eldrazi Temple, so we're just kind of hoping that we cast it eventually. Alright, we'll keep this. This is a kind of hand that gets picked apart by discard, but we will have Eternal Scourges. Damnation would be awesome, but not super confident it's going to survive the Thoughtseizes. Bobble, land, cracks it. Well, Exile Delta, Blood Crypt, untapped. And there is the Thoughtseize. Takes our ramp, cracks a bobble, and passes. Draws a card. Well, exile a card. Play Underground River, pass the turn. More bobble. Opponent cracks it. Island. Thought Scours. Thoughtseizes. Somewhat tempted to just crack this relic because of Gurmag Anglers. I think we're going to. Crack relic. Oh my goodness. Eternal Scourges. Here they are. Play Eternal Scourge. Alright. Eternal Scourgetron. Will it work? This is where we'd like to start drawing our big emerge things. Especially Elder Deep-Fiend. Opponent. Tap land. Passes. Now get it with Eternal Scourge. Opponent abrades. Well, we will play Field of Ruin. Recast our Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. I mean, if our opponent doesn't draw threats, maybe Infinite Scourges can get it done. Kolaghan's Command on Eternal Scourge. Well, we will discard an Eternal Scourge. Play the Mana Rock, play Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. Gonna hold on to this waste just in case of another Kolaghan's Command. Land, opponent cracks it. Probably means it's Death Shadow time. Down to 10. Or Gurmag Angler. Lightning Bolts, Eternal Scourge. Man, our opponent spent a million spells just making us recast Eternal Scourge, and it's kind of working. Opponent passes. Well, play Waste. Play Eternal Scourge. Play Eternal Scourge? We're setting a record for most Eternal Scourges cast. Opponent goes attacking. Well, we will double block your Gurmag Angler. Bolts and Eternal Scourge. Good God. This is getting old. This is getting old. Our opponent has done that so many times. Plays a tap land. Ooh, we do like Relic. Hopefully it resolves. Play Relic. Alright, opponent runs out Snapcaster for a Lightning Bolt. Well, opponent's officially out of cards. Cast Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. Bolts Eternal Scourge. Okay. Opponent. Gonna go attacking. Hits us for 7. down to 13. Well, exile an Eternal Scourge. Play Field of Ruin. Play Eternal Scourge. This is a new hit our spawns, draw some cards, except no cards are being drawn. Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. Eventually our opponent will stop drawing ways to hit Eternal Scourges. No attacks. Alright. Exile Eternal Scourge. I wish we could get rid of this Angler. Ooh, we can. Maybe. Dismember. Ooh, no Stubborn Denial. Alright, get in with our Eternal Scourges. The eternalness of the Scourges might actually be winning this game. Opponent takes it. Down to 4. Recast Eternal Scourge. Exile Gurmag Angler. And pass the turn. And opponent scoops it up! All we did that game was cast Eternal Scourges! That was literally all we did. And that was enough. That was enough. Well, that seems like a pretty unlikely way to win a game. But our opponent cast a million removal spells, just making us recast Eternal Scourges, and eventually the fact that we could just keep replaying them was enough to win the game. Somehow we drew all 3 of them, which was sort of a little strange, but alright, run it back, run it back. Ooh, alright. We got Eldrazi Temple and things we can cast. Street Race, cycled. Bloodstained Mire, cracks it. Watery Grave, down to 15. And Thoughtseize. Well, our opponent's gotten all the way down to 13 already. Takes Eternal Scourge. Eldrazi Temple, go. Drawing a relic at some point would be fine. Opponent Thought Scours. Bobbles. Cracks Bobble. Polluted Delta. They milled an Angler and a Death Shadow. Steam Vent's untapped. And passes. Draws a card. Relic. Ooh, Liliana. Unfortunately, we're a long ways away from casting that. Playing Underground River, and I think we just play Wasteland Strangler, just to have a body on the battlefield. We don't have any way to get things in exile anyway, so having a creature is better than having nothing. Opponent bolts. Watery Grave, tapped. And passes. Well, Cavern on Eldrazi. And run out of Thought Knot. See what our opponent's got. Ooh, good thing we drew that Cavern. Our opponent actually had Ceremonious Rejection. Now our opponent's got basically nothing. Just kidding. They have a Gurmag Angler. That is something. Come on, Black Source. Relic. Play the Island. Play Relic. Opponent uses a rejection. Yep. Pass the turn. Alright. Inquisition for Liliana. Opponent. Passing. Oh, there's our black mana too. Play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. We can try to All Is Dust next turn. Opponent. No attacks. Snapcaster. Ooh, for Thoughtseize? Alright. Alright. There goes our All Is Dust. Jeez. That's a good draw. Well, we got a Field of Ruin. In case we draw another Liliana. The discard's kind of getting us. Play Sanctum of Ugin. Pass the turn. Oh, no. We need something big. We need a Deep-Fiend. Opponent. Passes. Play Tar Pit. Pass the turn. So many lands. Tar Pit is a way we can try to sneak in damage. Opponent. Getting in. All right, so they drew another big threat. Death Shadow or Gurmag Angler. Down to 14. That's a Death Shadow. Polluted Delta. Play Wasteland Strangler. Kill Snapcaster. Putting a land back. Creeping Tar Pit. Go attacking. Opponent down to 5. Pass the turn. Opponent. Attacks. Well, chump Death Shadow. Down to 9. Cracks Polluted Delta. Gets a Swamp. Plays a Street Wraith. Oh, it's a Deep-Fiend! It's a Deep-Fiend! Oh my god, we drew it! Alright. And this should do it. It's even uncounterable. 4, 5, 6, yes. Cast Elder Deep-Fiend. Tap. Stuff. And opponent scoops it up! Taking down Death Shadow. Man, Elder Deep-Fiend is the top deck of the year. It is the top deck of the year. Whenever we draw it, things go super well. That's the second time where things look super grim, and then Elder Deep-Fiend comes down, and it's just game. It just ends the game, and we're doing it. We're doing it. We're up to 3-0. Oh my goodness. Okay. Yeah. Fiend wins Eldrazi. I guess it's kind of good. All right. Much Abrew about nothing time. We are playing some Fiend win Eldrazi in Modern, and I mean, we'll keep this. We have a potentially quick Mindbender. Turn 4. That's not bad. Eldrazi Temple would make it faster, and sometimes you just randomly beat decks because of Relic, so we'll try it. Underground River and Relic. Pass the turn. See what our opponent's up to. Basic Mountain. Alright. That could be several things. I'll play Underground River, play Relic. We'll see what our opponent does. Probably going to cycle a Relic this turn. Unless we see signs of like Hollow One. Red-green. Scape Shift? Aye. Alright. Well, Descended Mindbender's good. Crack a Relic. Find a Waste. Thought Knot's also good. Play a Waste. Run out Matter Reshaper. Pass the turn. Opponent. Secure Tribe Elder. And a land. Yup. Ooh, Elder Deep-Fiend 2. Well, get it with Matter Reshaper. Hit our opponent. Blocks. Sacks. Play Sunken Ruins. And I think we're just going to Thought Knot here. If they have double Titan, then that's bad. They kind of do. Take Titan. Pass the turn. Opponent needs a land. Do they draw a land? Oh my god, they drew it! Oh my goodness, the draws. The draws, the draws, the draws. Oh, good god. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. And I believe that's game. Alright, well, I guess maybe we should have played it safer and tried to Elder Deep-Fiend. We played the line that's best against our opponent having a single Primeval Titan, but our opponent managed to have 2 Primeval Titans. And now things become much more challenging. Opponent passes. Deep-Fiend. So now we gotta try to tempo our opponent out. Play Field of Ruin. I wonder how many forests this deck plays. Is there any chance we can get a free win by blowing up Stomping Ground? Seems unlikely. Alright, so I guess we just have to pass. Opponent's got to pay for the pact. So now we Deep-Fiend. Sack Matter Reshaper. Yeah, Deep-Fiend, Sack Matter Reshaper. Tap, 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 tap. Matter Reshaper. Alright, Relic to the battlefield. Oh, man. Yup. Hopefully our opponent does not draw lands. Opponent. Alright. Passing. So, crack Relic, draw a card. Wasteland Strangler, not super helpful. Ooh, Release to the Winds is interesting. So, go attacking. Hit our opponent. Down to 11. Blow up a Valakut. Get an island. Opponent gets a mountain. Hits Thought Knot. And then they're going to bolt Thought Knot. Maybe that's too greedy. Pass the turn. Opponent bolts the Thought Knot. Maybe that wasn't correct. I don't know. That's a tough one. Release to the Winds, Deep-Fiend. The problem is if we leave both Valakuts, then any land starts killing all of our stuff. But maybe we just hope our opponent doesn't draw it. So, Deep-Fiend exiled. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Cast Deep-Fiend. Opponent. In the tank. Alright, cast Deep-Fiend. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. Now I think what we really want is a land. So we can Wasteland Strangler and emerge a Deep-Fiend. Opponent. Yup. Opponent's passing. Alright. Thought Knot Seer. Well, get in with Deep-Fiend. Hit our opponent. Play Wasteland Strangler. Yeah, I think we gotta play Wasteland Strangler. No sense in fighting the Titan. Stop on our opponent's upkeep. Deep-Fiend sacking Deep-Fiend. Tap, 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 tap. If our opponent draws a land, though, a mountain, they can kill Wasteland Strangler and we don't have lethal. Man, is this gonna work? Are we gonna Deep-Fiend our way through this? It might be. Oh, man. Come on, no mountains. No mountains. That's exactly the plan of our deck. Is it enough, though? Oh, it's a mountain. Okay. Untapped. Hits Deep-Fiend. This means they have a ramp spell? Wow. Not only was it a mountain, it was a green mountain. And it was a... Oh, no. Well, we gave it a good run. The run is over. Our opponent got mountain into mountain into mountain. Ugh. Well, yep. All right. And now that's game. Jeez, we were so close. Matter Reshaper doesn't do anything. Sure, Sack Relic. Sanctum of Ugin doesn't really help. And yeah, now we're just dead, unfortunately. There's no way out. Primeval Titan, yeah, that does it. So Primeval Titan attacks, gets Valakut, and we're dead. Gets Valakut Mountain, kills our stuff, and we're dead. Yeah, there's no way out from here. Oh, man. Well, for the disaster of our opponent having 2 Primeval Titans, our opponent still needed a fairly lucky top deck to be able to win from there. Downside is, our deck does not have a way to win this matchup. I mean, I guess our plan is to try to keep a Titan from coming down. I don't know how realistic that plan is. We have a lot of cards that are not good. I guess the Liliana is worth bringing in. Wasteland Strangler does not seem super helpful. Warping Whale, I guess, stops Escape Shift. And I guess maybe go up to Inquisitions. Relic doesn't really do anything. Yeah, I mean, I guess this is our best shot. Ugh, I don't like this matchup for us, though. Not even a little. It is a little unfortunate that our opponent had 2 Titans in hand. Alright, we get to play first. Alright, I mean, we'll give this a go. We'll see. Underground River, Inquisition. Takes Search from Tomorrow's. Pass the turn. So opponent's got no ramp. They do have the Escape Shift. And their deck is all ramp. Stomping Grounds, tapped. Well, Eldrazi Temple, Matter Reshaper. Pass the turn. Opponent. Cinder Glade, and passes. Well, get in with Matter Reshaper. Hit our opponent. Play Sanctum. Play Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. Opponent's going to have this Baloth coming down before too long. Mountain. And there's a Wood Elves to get a land. Yep. Stomping Grounds. Tapped. Well, go attacking. Opponent jumps. Play Field of Ruin. Pass the turn. Bloodstained Mire. And there's the Baloth. Gains some life. Yep. Opponent passing. Well, go attacking. We'll see. We have some good plays. We'll see if they're enough. Opponent blocks. So now we Collective Brutality, 2 modes, Duress, kill Baloth, discard Damnation, take Scape Shift. Man, and then I guess we have to no value this Thought Knot. Opponent's just got 3 lands. Anything they draw, like Titan-wise, they can just cast, yeah? I mean, it seems unlikely we're going to catch a spell with this, though. Run out Thought Knot. Make the clock as fast as possible. Opponent reveals the lands, yep. Pass the turn. Right now we got a 3-turn clock where, unless our opponent cracks the fetch, we'll see. Opponent untaps. No Titans. Wooded Foothills, we knew about that. Opponent passing. We draw. Underground River. Go attacking. Hit our opponent. Pass the turn. One more whiff. Forest. Come on. No. What did our opponent draw? Oh, they drew the Scape Shift. Wow. Oh, no. Oh, no. Yup. Oh, dear. Well, what can you say? I feel like we played that about as perfectly as we could, and it just wasn't enough. Game 1, Double Titan. Game 2, Escape Shift off the top. In our deck, honestly, like, we have Thought Knots, and if we get... Yeah, and there's no way to fizzle this. Man, our Painful Mana Base also punishing us, and that does it. Oh, wow. Well, that feels like a really rough matchup. I feel like we played it well, but we just do not have very many ways to stop what our opponent's doing. I feel like this matchup was a perfect example of how to try to play the matchup, which is just tempo the opponent out, essentially, with Thought Knots, get rid of the pieces that you can, but you can't Thought Knot the top of the deck, which is what exactly happened. We had our opponent on a 1 to 2 turn clock because we could have Field of Ruin to fetch land to either strip mine or make our opponent sack it. So we could have done that to maybe make it a 1 turn clock or put our opponent down a land, but the scape shift came at the right time. All right, much ado about nothing time. We are playing some Fiend-Win Eldrazi. It's a lot of release to the winds. All right, we're going to keep. Hopefully we find some land. I mean, we have Elder Deep-Fiend. We have Eternal Scourge as a way to hopefully emerge it out. And then if we get out Elder Deep-Fiend, Release to the Wind is just great. So we'll try it. Underground River, go. On the other hand, we kind of are running with a 5-card hand. If we don't get down Deep-Fiend, these Release to the Winds do nothing. Burn A. Well, now I'm a little happier because Collective Brutality, one of our best burn cards, gets in. Down to 19. Well, play the Waste, and I think we just 3-mode Brutality. Discard both Release to the Winds. Well, he served a purpose. Opponent's got a lot of creatures. Take the... Let's take the Lightning Bolt. Pass the turn. Now we just want lands. Hopefully Eldrazi Temple, but any land is helpful. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. There's a Swift Spear. And a Lavamancer. Opponent. Getting in. Yup, down to 19. Well, there's a Waste. So play Eternal Scourge, pass the turn. Pretty good on defense. Our opponent can kill it for a while, but we just get to keep recasting it to block. All right. Lightning Helix on Eternal Scourge. Yep. Opponent. Getting in for 3. Down to 16. Well, play Eternal Scourge. Pass the turn. Wouldn't mind finding a land. All right. There's the Searing Blaze. Gets rid of Eternal Scourge. Down to 15. Yep. Opponent. Gets in, gets in. All right. Down to 12. Opponent. Passes. Well, let's switch it up. Let's play Matter Reshaper. Maybe this will find us a land at least. Opponent finds land. Oh! Oh! They drew another Searing Blaze. That's not good. Oh no. Release to the Winds number million. Oh dear. Oh, Fiend-Win Eldrazi. Gets in. Down to 6, and I don't think there's a comeback from here. Scalding Tarn. Mountain. Suspends a Rift Bolt. Yeah, we're dead. Relic, and we scoop it up. Well, so far, seems like Burn is maybe the bugaboo for Fiend-Win Eldrazi. Not that it's unbeatable, but it has not felt good. I will say that. So bring in Inquisitions. Go down Vendilion Clicks, go down Relics, go down Distended Mindbenders, bring in a couple Lilianas, and I guess the Warping Whales, maybe going down All Is Dust, and just run it like that. All right, we are on the play. All right, gotta keep it. Hopefully our deck gives us some lands. We got a Brutality, though, which is definitely one of our best cards in this matchup. We even have Release to the Winds. Definitely one of our best cards to discard to Collective Brutality in this matchup. It's doing its job. Sacred Foundry. Tapped. Opponent passes. Land. Oh my god, Deep-Fiend. Okay. Well, pass the turn. Inspiring Vantage. Eidolon of the Great Revel. Alright. Opponent passes. Wasteland Strangler. Well, Collective Brutality, 1, 2, 3 modes. Discard, Release to the Winds, and I guess Elder Deep-Fiend. We're just infinity away from casting it. So down to 17. Take, I guess, Searing Blaze? Take Searing Blaze. Pass the turn. Well, our opponent's hand's not that great, especially if we can find some lands to cast our things. Scalding Tarn, Swift Spear, and a Goblin Guide. Well, give us lands or give us death. Opponent gets in. All right, that's a land. That's good. So play Underground River, exile Swift Spear, pass the turn. Are we stabilizing in time? Also, can we avoid killing ourselves with our Underground Rivers? Question 2. Wooded Foothills. Opponent. Getting in with Goblin Guide. Land, please, Goblin Guide? No. Ooh, it's Brutality, though. Brutality is nice. Down to 14. Opponent passes. Let's 2-mode Brutality. Duress, kill Goblin Guide. Discard Wasteland Strangler. Take Searing Blaze. Pass the turn. So opponent's got 6 points of burn in hand at the moment. Let's see if we can find a way to kill them before they draw enough points. Here's Lightning Helix. Yup, down to 10. Skullcrack still in hand. Opponent, passing. Well, run out Matter Reshaper. Pass the turn. More Helixes. Down to 7. Oh dear. Opponent's up to 24. Rift Bolt suspended. Oh, this feels like such a bad matchup. Opponent passes. Now play Eldrazi Temple. Get into a Matter Reshaper. Hit our opponent. Opponent cracks. Stomping Grounds. Opponent down to 20. Hooray. Play Eternal Scourge. The problem is we are literally dead to any burn spell. Yeah, this might just be a completely unwinnable matchup. Rift Bolt coming down. Yep. Down to 4. So basically we need our opponent to draw lands for roughly an infinite number of turns in a row. And we can't cast any of our colored spells. Well, Field of Ruin. Blow up Sacred Foundry. Opponent floats a mana. Well, we take a Swamp. This lets us Wasteland Strangler. Wasteland Strangler. Go after Goblin Guide. Kill Goblin Guide. Well, I mean, there's Skullcrap. Yep, down to 1. Or crack. I think I just said Skullcrap, and I guess that's how I'm feeling after these 2 burn matchups. Yep, there's a bolt, and that does it. Oh, so Fiend with Eldrazi. Not being burned. So we end up with a 3-2. We beat every non-burn deck, and while I don't think we ran particularly well against burn, it still feels like a matchup where we need a literal nut draw to have a chance to compete, or we need a very good draw, and we need our opponent to not have a very good draw. The combination of not really interacting with what they're doing, and the speed of their deck, and the fact that a lot of our lands to make colored mana cause us pain, and our mana rocks too, leaves us in a position where burn does not seem particularly beatable for this deck. But, I mean, it's modern. Everything goes 3 and 2, I guess. You can't beat everything. Anyway, let's crack open our treasure chest. We did do well enough to get a chest, so... Alright. Treasure chest. 1 of 1. Come on, something sweet. Ooh. Ooh. Promo Traxos. Although, after last week's Much Brew, I don't know if I want to ever see a Traxos again. And a nice Masterpiece Wrath of God. Masterpiece Wrath of God's pretty sweet. I don't think it's particularly valuable, but it is cool. Wrath of God Invocation, like $1.71. Not the worst. All right. Well, I like the art on the new Traxos, but anyway, we'll talk more about Fiend win Eldrazi, commiserate the burn matchups, appreciate the non-burn matchups in the wrap-up. Be right back.
So what do we learn this week about Fiend win Eldrazi in Modern? And overall, the deck was pretty good. We played a competitive league. We finished with a 3-2. I did end up swapping out one matchup, so at the end of the league, we actually played Burn twice in a row, and it went exactly the same both times. It just feels like a really rough matchup. Our stuff's a bit slow. They can play stuff at instant speed to get around the Deep-Fiend tapping. So I dropped one of those matches for one of my test matches where we played against Titan Shift, and we lost that one anyway, so the record is the same as in our competitive league, but I wanted to mention that briefly. But overall, we went 3-2 in our league, which is a fine record. As far as the deck itself, Elder Deep-Fiend was insane. It is just so good, and there were a couple of games where it was exactly Elder Deep-Fiend that we needed to draw, and when we drew Elder Deep-Fiend, it was just game-winning, tapping down the blockers to get in the big attack, or fizzling an attack, or making our opponent skip their turn. So Deep-Fiend was great. It was just so good. On the other hand, Release to the Winds, it is very hit or miss. We had some games where it was absurd, to the point where it was pretty much game-winning, where we're able to keep casting our Elder Deep-Fiends, or Distended Mindbender, even like Thought Knot twice to get rid of another card. Those situations, it was insane. On the other hand, we also lost some games where we would have hands where it was like some lands, a couple of Matter Reshapers, a couple of Release to the Winds, and in those hands, Release to the Wind just does absolutely nothing. So there might be an argument that Release to the Winds is win more, but I don't know. It is a tough one. The downside is it doesn't really do anything until after we get down our big emerge threat for the most part. So if we don't happen to draw an Elder Deep-Fiend, we can get stuck with Release to the Winds just kind of rotting in our hand. I guess we can use it as like a one creature fog just to fizzle an attack and our opponent recasts their stuff, or a really janky removal spell against like a token or something. But for the most part, Release to the Winds was a little hit or miss. It was either the best card in our deck or the worst card in our deck. So I'm not really sure how to weigh that out in some. The really cool matches where we were looping Elder Deep-Fiends, though, were super sweet, and we wouldn't have been able to do that nearly as easily without Release to the Wind. So overall, I feel like the main deck of this deck, and actually the deck in general, was solid. The one problem we did run into was the mana base, and the problem we had with the mana base is we actually have a surprising amount of double colored mana spells, but we don't really have that many colored mana sources. We're playing a lot of colorless lands. Eldrazi Temple, Field of Ruins, Ghost Quarters, Waste. There's a lot of colorless sources in this deck, and while it isn't obvious at a glance, Distended Mindbender does need double black. Elder Deep-Fiend does need double blue, and that's not even including real double colored spells like Vendilion Clique and Damnation. So I feel like the deck would be better off if it could include just a few more dual lands, because that was a big problem we ran into. I don't know exactly the best way to go about it. Sunken Ruins might be a good option because it lets us make double of either color from just one colored source. Plus it adds colorless mana for our Matter Reshapers and Thought Knot Seers and so forth. So finding a way to get some more colored mana into the deck would be really helpful, because we certainly had some games where we would have Matter Reshaper on turn 2 or turn 3, and we'd have the Deep-Fiend or the Distended Mindbender in hand, but we just wouldn't have the colored mana to be able to cast it. And the problem gets even worse once we go to sideboarding, because we have all these double black Lilianas on turn 3 and also Inquisition on turn 1 and more Damnations. So we have a lot of double black stuff in the sideboard, but we didn't always have the double black mana we needed to cast stuff, and it got even worse when we wanted to do multiple things, like cast a Distended Mindbender and then sack it to Elder Deep-Fiend. We just wouldn't have enough colored sources to do that a lot of times. So that was certainly a challenge. So I think either try to find a way to add more Sunken Ruins or some sort of duels to the mana base, or we need to minimize our reliance on the double colored spells. At least with the Eldrazi, we can just hardcast them. It's not ideal. They're much more efficient when we can emerge them, but we can just hardcast them if we need to. But Liliana's, Vendilion Clique, Damnations, those cards, there's no cheat mode to get them into play for colorless mana. So I think we either need to morph the deck to minimize double colored spells, or morph the mana base a little bit so we can actually cast those spells a little more consistently. But apart from that, I felt like the deck was good. I was very impressed with Elder Deep-Fiend. Release to the Winds was very hit or miss. The rest of the deck, it's just got good stuff. Matter Reshaper, good value card. Thought Knot Seer, very strong magic card. Eternal Scourge and Wasteland Strangler are super sweet with Relic of Progenitus in the main deck. And shout out to Relic of Progenitus. It didn't come up a ton in our matchups, but there are a lot of graveyard decks in Modern right now, and having main deck Relic of Progenitus is actually a pretty sweet way to just jank out wins. Plus, you can always cycle it if it's not a matchup where it just janks out wins, but with Hollow Ones and Vengevines and Snapcaster control decks being really popular, having Relic in the main deck is surprisingly good in the Modern format at the moment, and it's even better in this deck where we can exile our own Eternal Scourge. We saw that against Death Shadow, where they kept killing our Eternal Scourges, but we just kept exiling it, and we literally won that game by drawing all 3 Eternal Scourges and just spending every turn of that game exiling and recasting them till we ran our opponent out of resources. So in our deck, it's even better than it is in a normal deck, but definitely main deck Relic, worth considering at the moment in Modern. So anyway, that's been Fiend Win Eldrazi. The deck was sweet. We did some cool things. We did release to the wins. Eternal Scourge was very eternal. So it was a pretty fun deck, and I think it's fairly competitive. So if you want a different take on Eldrazi and just love tapping opponents out with Elder Deep-Fiend, I think it's good enough that you can win a decent amount of games with it, especially if you kind of tune up the mana problems we were talking about. So anyway, that's been Fiend Win Eldrazi for Modern, and that's been our Much Abrew for this week. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.